American way, and we built this country called the USA, and we fly our flag cause we're proud and free, we're Americans. Red, white, and blue is our way of life. We never back down from a challenge or a fight. Nature provides, God gives the rights, we're Americans. We make up America, it's amazing America. Oh, yeah.
Today on the Sgt Frank Show, we'll be talking to Noah, our youth pro staff in North Florida. Good morning, Noah.
Good morning.
And on the line, I think we also have the bird dog.
You know it.
So today we're going to talk about how to take a young adult male and make him into an expert fishing pro staff guide.
Awesome.
And Noah's definitely one of those.
So Noah, what was your very first memory of fishing?
That's a hard one.
That's a hard one. Wait. How old are you?
I'm 13.
And you can't remember back that long?
No, sir.
Wow. I thought my memory was bad.
I can barely remember a week ago.
Oh, my
Well,
goodness.
I've always been fishing. I've always been fishing when I was little.
So
I grew up fishing.
So you don't remember the very first time you went fishing and who it was with?
No, sir. It was probably with my dad, most likely.
Well, I'm sure it was.
Because he always took me fishing.
Yes. So you don't remember the first fish you caught? What kind of fish it was? How big it was? What bait you were using? What hook?
It was most likely a bream in the Osceola River.
What is a brim?
It's a little, it's almost like a shiner in the salt water. It's basically a freshwater shiner.
Okay.
A shiner? Don't you-
Pinfish.
Oh, don't you? Okay, I got you.
I thought a shiner was something I gave Bird Dog when he sassed me one day.
Yeah, I think the shiner is like the biggest bass you ever caught or something. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure we have a video to prove that too.
So you can use shiner to catch bass.
Exactly.
I was a big shiner. I'm just saying. He almost pulled me
He almost pulled you over the side of the boat.
pretty much. So no,
Oh my gosh. When you lift it,
yeah. When you think back, what is why is fishing such an important part of your life?
it's just, I've always been interested in it, and me and Dad make plenty of memories doing it, and it's peaceful.
Now, do y'all catch and release, or do you eat the fish?
We eat the fish most of the time.
So it's safe to say you like fish.
Yes, sir. Unless they're too small, then we throw them back.
Very good.
Or we don't throw them back, but, you know.
We name them and then we just gently put them in the water, right?
Yes, sir.
Where
We have to kiss them first, though.
Where did that come from? I noticed when we went fishing, you were naming every one of your fish before you put it back in the water. Where did that start?
When did it start, in the video, or just where did I see it from?
I put the video together. I know when it started.
I just saw it on a video and I thought it was funny, so.
Okay, so you picked it up from the
started
video.
doing it. Yes, sir.
Good answer.
Awesome.
So when you first tell us about when you hook the fish, you know, when the fish starts pulling on your line, what does that do for you? What excitement? Take us through when you cast out your lure and you're doing your thing, and then all of a sudden you feel that resistance on the other side of the line. Talk us through that experience.
It gets your adrenaline pumping, for one, and like you're just hoping it's a big fish, and you're just hoping you'll get it in the boat, or that's how I am, and it's just, I can't wait to get it in, and everything.
So since
Hope you get it in.
you're a pro fisherman, I want to know that
I wouldn't say that.
if you get the big one, or you think you got the big one, and you're fighting it and you lose it, do you tell everybody it was the biggest fish you could have ever caught? It was huge.
The biggest fish I've ever caught.
Yeah, you know how people tell the fish stories every time they lose one. It was huge. It was humongous. It broke your line. All that good stuff.
Well, I'm not that guy.
You're not that guy? Good.
I don't do that. Oh man, it was 20 pounds.
Yeah, well, that's like normal fish stories. You know how they get embellished a little
Yes,
bit.
sir.
Just a little bit.
Yes, sir. It's about like when you
Go ahead.
about like when you're going to try to catch a nuisance alligator for somebody. They're like, oh my gosh, it's 8 foot long. It's only about 5 foot.
Yeah, well, that's funny you're talking about alligators. We'll get to that part of the story eventually. But so,
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. Tell us about how you learned it. Like, did your dad teach you how to tie a knot and put a hook on, or did he always do it for you, or had? Well, somebody at some time in your life you learned how to do it, because when we went fishing, you were taking care of everything yourself.
Yes, sir. Well, see, ever since I was young, I would get Dad to do it because I was never able to, because my hands were like just not able to do it because they were too small and everything. But then once I got a little bit bigger, I was like, Dad, how do you do this? Because he would be fishing and I wouldn't want to interrupt him fishing. So I just got him to teach me how to do it. And then after that, I just started doing it. Unless I had trouble doing it, then I would get Dad to help me do it.
So do you tie like a normal?
Then,
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But then when I got my bait caster, I had to start tying different knots because I was using braided lines instead of monofilament.
Wow. So he knows the types of lines and everything. That's pretty impressive for a kid your age. So who taught you how to throw a bait caster?
Well, I kind of just watched because we would just go around fishing with my Uncle Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of watched him, and I would ask him how, and he would just be like, keep your hand, or keep your thumb on your spool of line. And then I bought a bait caster from Academy, a little combo bait caster, for about $130. And then I got out in the yard, and I just started trying, and then soon enough I got it. After watching him for I don't know how many years.
That's pretty impressive, huh, Frank?
And I tell you what, I was a grown adult, and it took me a while to learn how to use a bait caster.
Yeah, I got some videos of that too.
Can't wait to.
Hey,
I'm just teasing.
practice always makes perfect.
Yes, and perfect practice makes even more perfect.
Yes, sir.
I just think it's pretty cool that he took it upon himself to get a bait caster and go out in the yard and practice with it. Most kids wouldn't even go that far. Or wouldn't go that
How
far.
old was I when I got my bait caster done? I was about 10 when I got my bait caster.
Wow.
10 years old and out in the yard learning how to cast a bait caster. That's pretty good.
What are your favorite type of fishing to do?
Bass fishing.
Okay.
And deep sea fishing.
All right. What kind of fish have you caught offshore?
Offshore, I've caught snapper, and I've caught a red grouper before, but that's about it.
So you just caught a snapper and a grouper out in the ocean, that's it?
Yes, sir. That's it. But we're just we're down in the Gulf. But we're not down south to where there's more fish. We don't have as good areas as they do down south.
Well, we plan on having some adventures with you down in the Florida Keys this summer.
That would be really fun.
So,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was just going to tell him you catch a variety of fish. That's the one thing I I'm a bass fisherman. I grew up fishing lakes all the time. You know, I'm a catch and release kind of guy, but
Yes, sir.
I didn't fish a lot. Even though I live in Florida now, I didn't fish a lot out in the ocean. But the one thing I can say that I like about the ocean and fishing out there is the variety of fish is amazing. I mean, you can catch anything. Heck, we caught
Yes, sir.
a 7-foot nurse shark and a turtle in one trip. I mean, it was pretty crazy.
Yes, sir. It's always fun to go out there.
Yep.
I don't deal with sharks though. I do not like a shark. They scare me.
We caught some sharks, but yeah, I don't want to get in the water with those sharks either. So.
No, sir.
So what are some of the other, I think the bird dog was talking about doing some peacock bass fishing, but I don't think that's up here.
No, sir. It's more down south.
Yeah, it has to be in the warmer weather. In fact, the cold weather actually kind of kills them off. But I got a really good spot to take you to down in Palm Beach County, Florida, that I can take you and we can catch some serious peacock basses. And those things fight like crazy. It's so fun just to catch them. I mean, you don't do anything with them. You just catch and release, but they're
Yes,
really
sir. I've
fun to
never
catch.
even seen one in real life.
You haven't seen? I'll have to send you a picture of the one I caught.
Yes, sir.
Pretty big one. I caught like about a 6-pounder, which is pretty
My
good size
gosh.
for a peak. Yeah, they don't get very big, so that's like towards the top of the line for a peacock bass.
Yes, sir.
So no,
so-
when you're not catching a bass or a shiner or anything else, what goes on the boat? What kind of conversations do you have with your dad or whatever adult you're with while you're out on the water? What are some of the topics you guys talk about?
I mean, we really just focus on fishing most of the time. We talked about, I don't know, we just talk about cows and everything, and talk about how beautiful God has made our world.
That's cool. You ever talk about things that are on your mind, like bothering you in school or in other areas that you have a little one-on-one time where you can actually talk about those topics without anybody else around?
We do, but most of the time I really don't have it. I'm blessed. God has blessed me, so I really don't have anything that goes on wrong at school.
So you're pretty much on level, on track, and
Yes, sir.
through your faith in God, you keep a good, even keel in your world.
Yes, sir.
I think that's wonderful. So when we talk about tying different knots and different lures and stuff like that, how did you learn how to do that? Was that something that you learned on your own? Did somebody show you once how to do it and you just kind of took it from there?
Well, no, sir. Dad showed me, and I would watch him and everything, and he would have to show me a few times because tying knots are not my best trait. But then soon enough, I figured it out.
Yeah, I've seen you tie knots. You make it look pretty easy.
Yes, sir. But the knot that I tie from my bait caster, which is braided line, that was a little bit harder than the knot that I call the A-man knot.
You named the knot after yourself or your family name?
Well, I've always known the knot that Dad showed me. I've always known that my papa and everything and everybody tied that knot because they use more of a monofilament line than braided line, and that knot works best for monofilament. And then when Uncle Wayne showed me how to do the braided line, I called that the Roberts knot.
I think that's really cool that you guys have a legacy of doing something like that with tying knots and fishing, and that's something I think we're missing in our society. I don't think families are sharing
Yes, sir.
the outdoors and other things as well. And I think that's probably the reason that your family is so fantastic is you guys take a legacy and you continue it on, teaching it to the next generation. And
Yes, sir.
admire you and your family for doing that.
Yes, sir.
Bird Dog, is there anything that you passed down to your children that you did in the outdoors? That do you have a knot that you guys kind of use all the time that you showed your kids?
A knot?
Knot.
Like a fishing knot?
Yeah. The knot on top of your head.
Yeah, not on top of my head. Yeah, I I have 4 children, and I did do as much as I could with them, but with the job that I had, I worked all the time, and then when I wasn't working, every one of my kids were doing some kind of sporting event. So most of most of their life growing up, they were either playing sports or doing something in school, or I was working. But I did get, every chance I got to take them into the outdoors, I did. So I didn't get to do a lot of it, but I like and I taught my kids the polymer knot because I like to use braided line for most of my fishing. And the polymer knot's just the easiest knot to teach, and it's easy to tie, and it's like, with that monofilament, when you're using that, and you have to like twist it about 8 or 9 times or whatever it is, and then try.
And then you put it through the little hole.
Yeah, that's kind of it's not tough, but it is kind of tough because when you're twisting it, it wants to come untwisted, and you got to twist it a few times to get it going. And I just, for a kid, it seemed to be a little harder for them to handle. So it was nice to just show them how easy the polymer knot is. It's just like one time through and around, and it's once you get the hang of it, it's like very fast. And they seem to like that knot a little better than anything else.
Yes, sir.
Very cool. Very cool. Well,
I wish I had a.
Go ahead. There you go.
No, I was just saying I wish I had a lot more time to take them and show them the outdoors a lot more. And now that they're older, they understand what went on and why they didn't get to do as much as they would like to. Because they were just, my whole life with my children went by so fast because I tell you, when you're playing sports and they did all the traveling or we did all the traveling, and if I wasn't working, we were off somewhere doing softball, baseball, twirling, whatever,
I didn't know you could twirl.
Yeah, it's funny because I didn't know that if you wanted, my girls wanted to be twirlers, so they started twirling when they were in elementary school, and it wasn't part of the school, but it was at the school, and it was run by a lady that actually was a coach at the high school and the middle school. So it was actually a school function, middle school, high school, but not in elementary. So twirling is like the batons.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen girls twirl the batons in the bands and stuff?
Yes, sir.
But this wasn't just it just wasn't, hey, let's do this at school. This was, I went to North Carolina. I went all over the United States traveling and competing.
Good gosh.
I got really good at it. I'm just kidding. My daughters got really good at it. And I tell you, they even tried out for America's Got Talent. And
that's cool.
They would have been on America's Got Talent, but at the time when they went there, they went with I think there was 100 and something girls in the group, and they wanted them to knock it down to 20 or even less than 20 people. And the coach didn't want to do that. She said, "Nope, we're all together, or we're not doing it," and we didn't do it, which I thought was pretty impressive, truthfully. But
that's pretty cool.
She didn't want to take the 20, or I don't think she wanted to pick the 20 best people. You know what I mean, and hurt feelings that way. But
yes, sir.
And it's pretty cool that she said that if we can't have our whole team, then we don't want to do it.
Right. No, that's pretty cool to stand up for that.
Yeah.
A lot of people that way, they'd want to show off their own, make themselves look better. So that's pretty cool that they were able to do that.
Yep. But I sat in all those America Got Talent lines, sitting there for hours on hours, doing nothing, waiting for your turn.
Wow. Pretty awesome, possum.
They didn't want my talent of, throwing a bait caster, so.
That's weird. I thought it was a highly sought out thing. Oh. I'm a little surprised that they didn't
Look, I
step
had
up.
to bring us back to fishing. Sorry.
No, that's true. So, Noah, what other things I think we should do a fishing show where you use like a cane pole.
Cane pole?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Like catch bass or bream?
Yeah. Or shark. Yeah, something.
Or sharks?
Yeah.
Have you ever caught a shark, Noah?
No, sir.
Oh man, well
we're gonna-
we're definitely, yeah. Wait till sharks are like we catch these little 2 and 3 footers all day long out there in the ocean in Keys, and they just immediately when you got a shark because they just take off running and they fight like crazy for as small
Yes,
as they
sir.
are.
Well, I had when we were deep sea fishing. Dad had like it was either a grouper or a snapper on, and he was reeling it in, and then next thing you know, he almost fell out the boat because a shark swallowed the whole grouper snapper and took the line, and then finally broke it.
Wow.
Yeah, there's plenty of videos of that. People reeling in fish and then all of a sudden the shark takes it.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're definitely that on our list. So, Noah, what was your best day fishing?
Sir?
What was your best day fishing?
My best day fishing.
Yeah, can you think of a fishing trip that was like your best day of fishing?
Like the best catching day, or like just
whatever.
my favorite
Best
day.
catching could be the best weather, best catching, best sandwich, whatever.
Well, I don't know what year it was, but a year I got a boat, a little 12-foot John boat for my birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and me and Dad went to a plantation that we catch gators for them on, and they had a lake. They let us go out there and catch bass and everything, and we went out there, and that was like on the day of my birthday, so that was really fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Very, very cool. Very cool.
I thought he was gonna say it was when he went fishing with the Adopt a Cop USA people, but
I kind of thought he was going to say that, but
I guess we don't rate when it
Well,
comes to his father.
I thought y'all were talking about most memory, whatever that word is, with family.
Yeah,
Memorial.
We're teasing. We're teasing.
Memorial.
Memorable.
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 Yeah, that'll work.
Memorable, yes.
Memorable.
But favorite day fishing, besides memorable day, would be the Noah's Ark fishing day.
Okay.
Well, I tell you, with the
Fun.
rain today, I've been thinking about building a Noah's Ark. Man, oh man.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive that his name is Noah, and we named his video Noah's Ark.
America's Resilient Kids.
Yeah, America's resilient kids. I mean, that's what we need. If we're going to build a country of resilient adults, don't they have to start off as kids?
Yes, sir.
Well, speaking
Because
of
the kids are going to turn into adults. So.
yeah. So you're not only a pro fisherman, you hunt gators, deer, everything. Your dad
Yeah.
taught you all that.
Yes, sir.
So you've pretty much been hanging out with your dad doing a lot of fun stuff since you've been
Yes,
growing
sir.
up, huh?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Tell us about some of the gator hunting things that you've been on.
Well, people ask me, just for starters, people ask me how many gators I've killed. I can't really say that because I really don't keep track. But Dad started off with the nuisance alligators for the state, and then he started doing like private lands to where he goes and gets gators for people on their land and everything.
And you get to go every time he does that?
Almost every time, because sometimes I'm in school or I have to do other things like wash my cow or something.
Now, he's not using you for bait or anything, is he? Does he tie a rope around
Well-
your waist and throw you out there?
Okay, so my first time, I do remember this. My first time killing a gator, it was about an 8-foot gator, and we were shooting the crossbow and trying to get a harpoon in it, and I kept on missing. And every time I was right there, it would come closer and come closer. Because it was thinking I was like a deer wanting to drink some water. And Dad was fixing the crossbow one more time, and it was like getting closer. And then Dad was like, here's the crossbow. So I got the crossbow, and it was getting closer and getting closer. And then next thing you know, it was shot. He didn't see the crossbow. So, yes, we do. I am used for gator bait sometimes, but I'm not worried about it.
Not on purpose, though. Not on purpose.
Not on purpose. I'm just the right size.
Oh, that's pretty cool. What do you think about that, Frank?
I can tell you that going gator hunting with the LNW Gator team is amazing. And for people that don't understand that we have gators were protected for a long time, and then the population grew so much that the only way to keep everything in balance is we have to take so many gators out of the ecosystem because there's just too many humans on the planet. And
Yes, sir.
you know, and every bit of the gator that's taken is used. They use the meat, they use the hides, I mean, there's nothing wasted. So for people listening, they're like, oh, this is, don't understand hunting or gator hunting. I mean, it's a necessary thing. Otherwise, anybody that lived anywhere near the water, their dogs would be eaten, their children would be eaten, their livestock would be eaten. You have to keep, because of so many human beings that we've had to do this, and it's the only way we can keep our ecosystem in balance is we have to harvest so many gators a year. And
yes, sir.
Just so people understand, we don't waste any of that, and it's a great experience to teach our children and adults accountability and responsibility for our natural resources as well. So I think it's really great that Noah can actually help teach other adults, which I've seen him do in person when he had a police officer who was actually wounded on duty, actually almost killed, and he was able to kind of coach her through the harvesting of one of these gators and make a very ethical shot and kill the gator on the first shot. And that's when I really realized that there was something very different about Mr. Noah, that he cared so much for humanity and had a very calming effect, even when he's talking to adults, how to accomplish something that's actually a difficult task in front of him.
And I didn't even know that she was a wounded officer.
Yeah, that was a very incredible experience, and I'm glad we are able to provide that for this person, because I think it really helps in life, overcoming obstacles. And when you face a very traumatic event like she did, to get back in the game and accomplish another very hard obstacle like that alligator hunt was a great thing for us to be a part of. So I really appreciated your help in that endeavor, Noah, because you're right there coaching, obviously with your dad as well, and everybody was very safe and accomplished the mission as a team, which is what we need to do in our country. If we're going to put the United back in the United States, we have to learn to work as one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I think I've heard that somewhere before.
Yeah,
I think I have
too. Do you get to hear that every day, Noah, in school, or no?
Yes, sir. I think I say it too.
Okay. I just didn't know, because some schools don't do that anymore.
Yes, sir. Since I'm in a private school, we do the American flag, the Christian flag, and the Bible.
Awesome.
Very cool. That's very cool. We need more patriotism, and we need more prayer in our schools, and I think our kids are missing out that don't have that. So
yes, sir.
Kudos to your parents for getting you into a school like that, and kudos to the school for being brave enough to stand up and courageous enough to stand up for our country and provide that kind of education for our children, because they need it. They need that structure.
Yes,
so,
sir.
what's the name of your school?
Point of Grace Christian.
Awesome. I think I heard a rumor that the law dog was going to actually be there.
Yes, sir. I think I heard that the other day, too.
That'll be an exciting video.
I talked to the law dog. He's definitely coming.
Awesome.
Isn't
Isn't it for the kindergartners?
Yep, the kindergartners are going to be all excited to meet the law dog, and I think it's going to be the very first unveiling of the posse, the Sgt. Frank's Bird Dog Posse policies, PAW policies, that are going to help. You know, they're very similar to some other things I think that you learn in school, Noah, as well.
That's going to be awesome.
Well, we're going to try to see if your teacher will allow you to step out of class for a minute to help the law dog, because sometimes he needs to be walked and stuff. So
yes, sir. I'm sure she will. What time is it?
It's going to be at noon next Thursday.
At noon?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. I'll be able to do it. I'll be at lunch.
I think it's at noon. I'm pretty sure it's at noon.
If it's at noon, I'll be able to do it.
Awesome. All right, man. What else would you like to, for the next episode, Bird Dog and Mr. Noah, what would you guys like to tell our fans about or explain to our fans what they can learn or hear about? What experiences would you guys think would be exciting for them to hear about?
I want to hear about his deer hunting and any other animals that he's been hunting and doing things with.
Oh, that would be really great.
Yes, sir. We could probably do something about 4-H.
Yeah, we can talk about that. We can talk about your cows and how you raise them up and all that kind of good stuff.
Yes, sir.
I know what my favorite cow is.
I think I know.
I think I did too.
His name's what? Frank? No, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
And say it with respect. It's Sergeant, and he is a bull.
Sergeant. And he's a bull. Oh, is he a bull like Sergeant Frank?
Sorry to break it to you, Sergeant Frank, but he is going to have to be neutered.
Oh, well, what's that make him then?
A steer.
A steer. You know, as a joke that I mess with people on, I tell them, I was like, well, how many steers do you think were born this year and just in this county alone? And
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know. And they give you like this huge number. I'm like, not 0. There's no steers ever born. And they look at you all weird because they don't know what goes on and how you know, what happens and
How do you make a steer?
Yeah, so it's kind of a cool joke to use. You could use that on some. Well, you probably can't use it on your friends because they're all country boys and they probably all know anyway.
I think I could.
Okay.
It's sad, but I'm pretty sure I could.
Yeah, so the next time you're in conversation with someone you think that doesn't know, you just say, "Hey, so how many steers you think were born right here in Taylor County in the last month?" You know, you can use year, month, whatever you want to use, and then, you know, the answer is always 0, but that's for another show.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, Noah and Bird Dog, I thank you very much for being on the Sgt. Frank today, the Sgt. Frank Show today, because I think there's a lot of things that we're missing in our country, and I think that getting back in the woods, we can bring it all back together.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, you guys, well, have a great day. Stay dry. Keep your powder dry. And we will see you guys on the other side of freedom.
Signal 33 shooting, 100 block East MLK, 100 block East MLK. All units 1051. Getting an update, we have a 10-year-old male lying on the ground with a gunshot wound, unknown exactly where. Unable to verify breathing. Delta 14, 1048.
Listen, young one, it's not cool to be a thug. There is nothing good about going selling drugs. The money don't mean nothing when you're harming everyone. And you can get killed bringing pain to your mom. Take a legal substance and you can OD. Overdose from nasty chemicals in the streets. Live a happy life, you gotta keep your hands clean. And most importantly, think about your family.